at 1 o'clock.
Yep. Still give me a little spinny. Okay, Facebook. And here we go. Or not. It's still connected to YouTube.
If I had $1 million, 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 I'd be rich.
Hey, what's up, everybody? That was the Bare Naked Ladies singing "If I Had $1 Million."
Love that custom intro. Good job.
Well, thank you so much. We are live and local. This is Adam Kitt, the singing realtor, and my business partner,
Noel Fielding, the real estate doctor.
the Doctor of Destruction.
Dr. Doom. No.
Well, hey, everybody. This is episode 7 of the Realty Life podcast. We are super stoked to have you there. And listen, it's super hot outside. What happened?
The whole world has changed in like the last 7 days. I mean, we went from being locked in our homes and now we're released like a bunch of wild animals. The zoo has gone crazy and it's 1,000.2 degrees. Just like that.
Well, just in time for this heat wave and all the heat to follow over the next 3 months, we finally bought and constructed and built successfully an awesome gazebo for my backyard.
Well, no one swung on it and really tested it yet.
I'm telling you, that's actually not true. We've swung on it. We've jumped on it. No, it's really, really nice. So for those of you out there who have a Costco nearby, here in Fresno, at least, Fresno Clovis area, Costco supplies this really, really great 14 by 12 all cedar metal roof gazebo that is spectacular. And we saved up and bought that thing, and it took only 3 days to build it, but we did it. So.
Mere 3 days.
A mere 3 days.
And 37 people. No, it's, you were telling me about this build, and my brother has just purchased, I mean, probably the same day you bought yours, he bought his. It's waiting there. He's pouring some extended concrete before he assembles that thing. So I have a feeling I'm going to be working on a gazebo here really soon. And I hope it's not 114 degrees when that happens.
That's supposed to be tomorrow, so hopefully it passes by then, right? Crazy. Well, hey, we are talking about episode number 7, becoming a millionaire investor. We're going to get to that topic in just a little bit, but COVID. What is going on? I appreciate all the efforts of our leaders trying to be safe for everybody and really trying to open up the country. Here locally, a lot of restrictions have been lifted. Restaurants are being opened back up with, still some restrictions of the 6 feet social distancing. Obviously, letting people not wear masks while they eat, right? That's kind of a hard thing to do.
I want to see that one.
Yeah, exactly. Like with a straw. It's crazy. We went from almost seems like we went from one extreme to a big leap.
I tell you what, though, I for one am happy. I'm still kind of listen. The reality is, I think we may have talked about this. I don't wear the mask. I never wore the mask all day. I didn't. I wore it where I was required to, and was compliant with it. I personally don't subscribe to, like, if I'm sitting there walking around the lake, I don't feel like I need to necessarily wear a mask. The birds and the butterflies aren't going to get me sick. At least that's my feeling. And so far I've been right. With that being said, I was super thrilled to get up. They opened Dinky Creek. I was able to get up, do some fishing.
Yeah, man. I saw those fish.
Yeah.
How many trout did you catch?
So it was funny. It through no skill of ours, although I do consider myself a pretty good angler, but So my one brother was up there with us, and he had been working. He's a paramedic supervisor. He was up there, and he got off his shift and met us. We went fishing, and he wasn't catching anything. He was like, "Okay, I'm going to get home and see you guys later." He took off, and no sooner did he leave than the truck came, the stocking truck, and they weren't able to dump up the river because that was shut down still because of COVID. So he had to dump everything there. So we just sat there and watched him dump like 1,000 trout. It had to be 1,000 trout. The whole truck. And of course, they're stunned immediately, but you just kind of sit there and then you start seeing them churn and churn. My brother and I, we caught and released about 60 fish, 30 fish each. It was literally every cast.
Wow.
It was a blast once they started getting going. We only kept a couple fish that they hit the hook really hard and got injured. And I came home and filleted them, and I made trout that night. And trout fillets are great. If you're not really good with your knife skills, it's not the easiest thing. Put it on my Facebook. So if you're not friends with me on Facebook, you ought to be, so you can catch my weekly recipe show, because I cook all the time, and I'm always trying to share it.
Yeah,
that was really good. It was little white wine and capers and lemon. It was really, really fantastic, and
that's awesome.
Risotto, and yeah, that was super, super fun.
That is great. Yeah, I actually I barbecued 2 4-pound tri-tips on Monday, on Memorial Day, and I did 2 different flavor profiles. I did one was a kind of a really savory coffee rub that I put together.
That's a bold move right there.
Really fantastic. The other one was just kind of a normal Pappy's with some extras, Santa Fe kind of a style. But man, they turned out great. Yeah,
I tend to go with the safe bet, and you are. I don't know. I shouldn't say that, but when I have a tech, I know what I love.
Yep.
Right. And to do a coffee rub on that's kind of cool. I had so much fun. We went fishing. Right. Came home. Did that. Then I went and visited my oldest boys, who are my youngest son is visiting his big brothers out on the coast in Atascadero. So I went and spent 2 days out there. Did some surf fishing. So I've been out. I fished 3 days.
Did they stock the ocean for you?
They did not. But there wasn't very many people out there. It was gorgeous. It was great. The fishing was not good, but the weather was wonderful, and we had a great time. Got to see the boys, came home, and then we did a tri-tip on Monday with my mom and my brothers, and had a great time. What a nice weekend with some family and friends, and good times.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to really enjoying our backyard now that we've got the gazebo up there. We'll hang our
you put that on your Facebook, right?
I did indeed. Yeah. Adam,
you're never gonna get to see his Facebook pictures of his nice new gazebo.
One of these days I'm gonna put together a actual a photo montage of all the before and after pictures of the progress we've made at our house. I'm pretty impressed with us.
It's a lot of progress. Seriously, folks, I was there when Adam first purchased the property, and that backyard was, man, well,
an unplanned disaster is what it was, and we've righted that wrong. So we're doing pretty awesome. Anyway, hey, let's just real quick before we get into the heart of our topic, which is, by the way, becoming a millionaire investor. Before we jump into that, let's talk really quick about some of our local business. What's happening with Fairmead, with our listing in Illinois?
I know Fairmead had some action there, but our seller, he's pretty specific about some of the things that he wants to see happen.
Listen, it's a unique house, right? It is mostly livable. When I say that, it sounds horrible. But what I mean is that it doesn't have a heat source right now. And so one of the primary requirements for any lender in America for square foot to be counted as proper square footage, livable, has to have heat. It doesn't have to have air. It's got to have a permanent heat source.
So one of his solutions to this was potentially plugging in a heater, and that's not a permanent heat source.
Correct. It's got to be a fireplace, a properly an approved wood burning stove of some sort, or a gas heater.
And you can't qualify a wood burning stove here
Correct.
because of the wood burning restrictions.
Exactly. So kind of limited, and he didn't want to continue to invest in improvements to his property. So we're somewhat limited in the kind of fire we can have. That said, it's on an acre of land in a pretty awesome location, and I think we've had a lot of showings. So I'm assuming one of these people are going to say, "Yep, I can handle this."
Yeah. No, honestly, we've already had that buyer ready to do it. But the challenge is he's got to come in with the type of loan, and it's got to be a loan that will build in a rehab budget. In fact, that's something we're going to talk a lot about in our How to Become a Millionaire.
Yes,
segment.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
Kind of sweet spot in loans, but you can do that, and you can add that heat source. And get that done after you close escrow. They're going to require you to get that work done in X amount of period of time by a licensed contractor. You'll have to provide that information up front to your lender and get that work done by them, and then submit proof of it at that time when it's done too.
So I think it'd be a good topic for us to discuss the types of outside of the box solution types of lending, right? Because we could go in and talk about the FHA protocol, the 203K, which is a renovation loan. There's also a bunch of conventional products out there, lenders who will provide you with a renovation budget pre-approved prior to the close of escrow. And then the work gets done after you close and you get the keys. So all kinds of stuff. But, hey, what's going on with you? We got that great listing in Gilroy.
And we talked a little bit about. We got a little bit of a price drop. They have just gotten around to modifying some of their showing restrictions. I'll be honest. I've been pretty hardcore about it. Our owner has an infant daughter who's just cute as a speckled pup, and I don't want them leaving the house. So, I mean, our restrictions now have got you having to get a pre-approval, having to have your COVID entry form submitted, and a lot of people are sending these things. I want it a couple hours in advance, and in fact, I'm not going to give you the code, right? You don't get to go in until I've got those things. I had someone send me one the other day, and it was under, and listen, a lot of agents, when they're shopping for different houses, they don't want the loan approval to show more than the purchase price of that home. Even sometimes a couple $1,000s less to make it seem like there is no negotiating room, right? And so that strategy has come back and bit a couple people in the high knee because they showed me a approval letter that was a few $10,000 less than our purchase price. Now, listen, if you can't buy the whole thing, then I'm not going to show it to you. Go get the proper approval letter.
Right.
So we've had a couple of people have to reschedule and things like that. So those are but you've seen the pictures, and they're up on the website, our website for sure.
Which is kfhomesales.com, by the way.
Yeah, folks. And you can email me and Adam at kfhomesales@gmail.com, and we can send you links to the video and to the listing. And so if you or someone you know is looking in the Gilroy area, this is great. Listen, it's a lot less expensive. And another thing they've done is our seller, they've got a assessment from the condo association for new roofs. Okay, they're about the same age as our condos downtown Fresno, and that the sellers agreed to pay the balance of that, which is a little bit under $20,000. So even though our price is right there, and they've got the largest backyard in the unit in the complex, we're paying $20,000 towards that for you. So you're getting a new roof on your property. It's a great deal.
Which is pretty awesome. Which is pretty awesome. We've got our new list. We talked about it last week on 5207 West Warner. That is going great. Lots of activity on that one. Those are 221.9. It's a two-bath, little cute little place up on the Herndon and Polk area. Still available. Hasn't been snatched up yet.
We had an offer the other day. Then that person really felt that with their kids and another kid on the way, I guess that they really should be in a 3-bedroom. This is a 2-bedroom. So be conscientious about that, right? Yep. Two bedrooms. It is what it is. You're not gonna magic a 3rd bedroom out of that thing.
Yep. And then we still have a couple more listings available. We have one on Safford Avenue in the Northwest Tower District area.
And that's a have and hold, people. This has got a renter in place, brand new renter.
Yep.
That's the way they're trying to would ideally sell that property because those people just got in there. Although, geez, for the right price, I suppose they would adjust. But it does have a renter in place. It's a great investment property.
Yep. We also have a beautiful mobile home in the Woods Mobile Home Park in Clovis, number 84. This is for $89.9, and it is ready for a new owner, new person.
Yeah, I think this weekend or next weekend, we'll probably be doing a virtual open house and go through these listings: Fairmead, Williamsburg, Warner, and number 84 there, because that one really deserves to be seen. It's gorgeous.
Last but not least, a shout out to our good friend Bill, who's got a property in Palm Springs. Listen, we showed you the virtual tour on that one. Beautiful home in Palm Springs. You're looking for a vacation home, or somebody wants to invest in Palm Springs, great place for vacation rentals. And last but not least, we got a new buyer, friend of ours, client of ours, Kathy. She is in contract, found a house to purchase. We got that all going, and super happy for her. So we're moving along.
Yeah, lots of stuff is happening, and it's a good time. It's been a really, really good time. We got the 3 closings this last week. We've got 2 closing this week, which is super exciting. So we've got a lot of clients that are moving in and moving out of their homes, and a lot of activity. And it's a hot time, but at least they'll be done by the time schools open back up, assuming they do. I've actually heard some schools are talking about continuing the.
Let's not get started with that can of worms, Noel.
Distance learning is what they're calling it, right?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. We could go on and on and on about our opinions of this, that, and the other. But what about becoming a millionaire investor, Noel? What is going on? Listen.
Let's jump in. Can you share that PowerPoint we've kind of doctored up there?
I didn't download it.
Okay, let me do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit share the screen. I'm going to share the screen. Okay. And we got to do that.
You got to have it up on your screens, and then pick the screen.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Give me a second. Stressing me out. We're going to share screen too.
Boy. Folks, I do all the other stuff. I get I'm running the show, pushing all the buttons. I only have to do one thing. He created the PowerPoint. He should have it,
It says
I know. Yeah, well, here it is, folks. Bada boom, bada bing. Hey.
There we are.
So start the thing.
Become $1 million investor fast. Boom, baby. Because everyone wants it fast, especially $1 million, right?
I guess. Yeah.
Well, you know all about this. This is a kind of a neat little slideshow. So I'm a big fan of Sun Tzu. Right? If you've ever read The Art of War, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, either read it or don't. But don't complain about the things you don't know because you didn't read it.
Either read it
or don't.
Or don't.
That's my hardcore advice right there. Boom. The general who wins the battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is fought. The general who loses makes but few calculations beforehand. This is about getting educated, people. Know the lay of the land. And that's what we're here to do, is help you know the lay of the land. And one thing that's going to be absolutely essential in the process of trying to build wealth via real estate, my allergies are killing me. What the heck, man? I woke up with watery eyes. It's killing me. Is that you're going to need experienced agents to navigate you through this process, to get you with the right types of lenders to do this, because this scenario, and there's a bunch of scenarios, and we're only going to breeze on them, okay? Because we could talk about this for hours. This is really buying these in a way that's going to get a rehab loan that will actually let you purchase the property and finance you based on your exit value, okay? And that's called your ARV. Adam, tell them about the after repaired value.
Exactly. So the ARV is the price that is projected that if you fix this property up to be just like the median level of the home in the area, or some of the nicer homes in the area that are just like this one, what's that price going to be? Okay. So listen, we're talking about purchasing a single family home to be used as a rental. Somebody is paying your mortgage, and you're getting a little extra, more than your mortgage payment, in return, creating a profit every month. You get what we call cash flow. And so in order to do to really start making money with your money in real estate, is to have a return on investment that comes every month. That's the best way to do it. And so when we talk about buying a rental property, you're looking for a property that needs a little work, that you can get at a deal, at a bargain. So all of your money in when you're buying an investment property is made at the time of purchase.
There's your initial separation right there. That ARV, right? The exit value after you've put in a little elbow grease, a couple bucks. And this is where someone like Adam or myself with a lot of experience is going to be able to look at this property and first of all, find it for you. What property is selling out there on the market? Okay. Or maybe not on the market, that you need to go shake the trees and find these things that has a potential exit that we can formulate by doing an appraisal, right? And looking at the value of the nice homes, the ones that are all fixed up, what they're worth. And then understanding that purchase price is going to be less. So your purchase price right there and your repair costs, as you can see on this graph here, we've got a purchase price of $200,000. We're estimating, and you can estimate, depending on where you're doing this, where this property is located, about X amount of dollars per square feet. We're using a calculation. We're figuring about a 1,600 square foot place and about $20 a square foot as for your repair budget, coming in with that 31 to 280, and then some closing costs of 8,800, right? So that's your all-in cost, $240,000.
So listen, we're going really fast with the math.
It's a lot of stuff, folks.
Ultimately, what we're looking for is a property that we can purchase at a below market value price, right? That we can reinvest a little bit of capital to improve the property to the point where it will appraise at a much higher value than the price you bought it at, far exceeding your total investment into the property, if that makes any sense.
Right.
You want to have enough spread in there to give you some equity, built-in equity.
And that's that unrealized gain, right? The difference between your all-in cost versus the ARV, that's your equity that you've bought by purchasing this thing under market. and doing your repairs yourself or with your contractor. So in this particular instance, you've got an unrealized gain, $32,000 in equity. So that's your first payback, because you are putting some cash out here, right? You're doing some repairs. You're having to come out of pocket with some closing costs. So this unrealized equity is going to pay you back. The other portion of this is going to be, this particular scenario is based on a loan, obviously. So you've got principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. That's your cost in doing that. That's your monthly stroke. And then having that rent, this is where you're talking about cash flow being exceeding that. And that money's coming back to you too.
Exactly. So the challenge is knowing how to calculate your potential profit before you purchase the property. So when Noel started this talk about the Sun Tzu quote, is a lot of work and headache and strategy and stuff. It's way at the beginning. In fact, we spend so many hours. We do searches for a lot of our investors already right now on a regular basis, where we're scouring the internet and we're looking for those deals, that hidden gems that are still available for purchase, that nobody has taken advantage of them or looked at them in the right way, etc. So that's where we come in. We do the research, we help find it. If you find a property, you say, hey, I think this one might work, and you have an in on buying it, we'll definitely help crunch the numbers and validate your opinions, etc. So that's where we come in. All right, what's the next slide there, Noel?
So the next thing we want to understand is how we're getting our money back and how we're making our profit, because that profit is going to compile. We want to do this in a way, right? Because one house is not going to make you a millionaire fast, right? It's going to take a long time. But you're buying multiple houses, and you have the 5 ways real estate can make you money and will make you money. Cash flow, we talked about that, right?
Yep. Listen, it's pretty awesome. Like, compared to the stock market, for instance, okay, real estate can make you money now.
Witchcraft, that's so smoke and mirrors.
The stock market, the biggest challenge in the stock market is that it's very volatile, and it's like a speeding bullet. Okay, it can change at a drop of a hat, like 1,000 points. I just lost $30,000 in my portfolio, right, or whatever. Real estate, the trends in real estate take a long time to actually come about. And so what's really nice about having real estate is that if there is trouble coming down the tracks, it's like a slow moving train, right? And it'll take a while to get to you. And so you'll have time to adjust as needed. But listen, stock market, buying stocks, you only make money when you sell.
Even through this COVID thing, homeowners are still gaining equity. Even with this financial crisis, this artificial financial crisis, right? Homeowners are still gaining it. So you can look at, you've got your cash flow, you've got appreciation. On general, and that's what Adam's talking about, the long-term effects, the long curve on this, okay? Property per annum, right, is about 5% per year. Some years it's 7, some years it's 4, right? But generally speaking, you're gaining value on your property. You've also got that initial equity capture, right, that we just talked about, that you've bought it for less than it's worth, and you've got that equity capture. And then as you pay down the principal, which you're going to make a payment every month, and then if you take that additional money, right, that cash flow, you're dumping that back onto your principal. You're paying this down fast, and then you've got tax advantages. And we're not really allowed to, because we're not CPAs, we're really not allowed to get into that. But there are generally tax advantages for most.
Well, listen, we can state some of the basics, right?
Right.
We do know the rules, the tax rules allow you to depreciate your home, your investment home, year by year, down to zero. And, that depreciation basically makes your taxable amount a lot less.
Considerably.
Considerably less. So definitely talk to a CPA. We're talking about this, confirm all the things we're speaking about. Well, listen, talk about your principal pay down and equity capture. Equity capture is actually going in two different directions. Okay. Your equity is going to grow because of the natural market increases, the 5% per year that Noah was talking about. And then your renter is paying your mortgage down.
Principal pay down, right? That spreads that.
And
increase.
so your equity is growing like this.
So basically, you're able to recapture your dough, right? Your initial investment within that first year. So if you got the ability, you get a couple of these, and then you take all of that margin, all of the profit, and you push that down on one, paying it off faster. Now, again, if you're a cash buyer, it's a little different scenario, because rather than a few $100s a month, you're making up $1,700 a month in this particular instance, and you're getting that money, and you're going to pay that property back quickly. You're going to pay off, and then when that one is liquid in a few years, now you can take that entire portion and put it on the other one, and probably get into a third one. And this is when this becomes scalable and repeatable. Here's a quick deal calculator. You guys are welcome to email us to get a copy of this. You can probably stop our video if you're watch the replay on YouTube or on Facebook, and just get a screenshot of this and reproduce this and get a quick idea of what you are looking at. If you need some help on a particular property of getting an ARV, right, after repair value, we can help you do that. You give us the property, we'll look at it and run through those numbers and crunch some numbers for you and help you fill this thing out so you can see where there are potential opportunities for you, and we'll help you purchase that property and get you going in the right direction. So this is a great, really simple to use form listen, it's not everything. Of course, it's painting with a pretty broad brush, but it's going to let you know if this property is worth looking at. And that's what we're really trying to determine. There's a lot of properties that are going to obviously not be worth looking at right away, right? But the ones that are worth an examination, you want to crunch the numbers on this form, right?
Exactly. Hey, real quick, I want to just show people a really good example of an old school like foreclosure house that needs a full rehab. Okay,
Get going, man.
I want to do this here.
Do I need to get a screen sharing?
No, I don't think so.
There you go.
So this is not the one. This is not the one. This is actually a prime example of a home that actually would work as a good buy and hold rental capture. But look at this one right here. So this is the home, 145 East Bird Avenue in Fresno. It's listed for $79,900, and it is a complete near teardown. Right. So sometimes people say, "Oh, it's only 80 grand," right? But you see pictures like this, and there's nowhere in this structure that doesn't need.
Wow, this baby needs some love.
A ton of work, right? So these are the kind of things that we find, we look through, and it looks like it's got some mold issues or some fire issues. And so this is almost a near tear down, right? But look at that.
But for the right price,
yep,
right?
For the right price, if there's an exit value that makes sense, you can invest in this property heavily, and then either flip it or make it a rental. But let's just say you can get it for 50 grand and it needs 100 grand to work. Well, now you've got a decent home for $150,000.
You're 150 in, and the value, and we haven't comped it out, obviously.
Right.
But if the value in that neighborhood's $230,000, you've got $70,000-$80,000
Yep.
in that recapture money.
So this
right?
home here is actually, I haven't looked at the map yet, but it's over on Shields Avenue in the 704, which is kind of the Tower District, Fresno High zip code. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath home. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. 3-bed, 1-bath, listed for $149. Okay, so I just did a real quick comparable search. Let me see if I can make that bigger for everybody. Okay. So this is the kind of stuff that we will look for. We'll look for similar homes. Okay. And like, oh, there's one here for sold for 202, 255, so right. We see a lot of homes that have a decent amount of exit potential. So we know right away that this is a home that that may work for us in terms of as a buy and hold, as an investment type property. So we'll do some more research on it.
So yeah, there's a couple of things we're going to jump in on that and look at, and we're going to look at the home. Is it easy to add that second bath? Because some of those, right, square footage was similar, but that second bath is kind of a critical animal right there.
Yep.
And can we get that in there? Can we put in a second bath? So we're going to come in and make that person an offer that builds in that equity capture for you, right?
Yep, exactly.
We've got to offer the right. So they may not accept it, but we can ask for anything, right? So we've got to go in, say what that's our extra value. This is not dissimilar to what we're doing on a flip, okay? But it doesn't have to have as high a rehab budget
Exactly.
on a have and hold as it does on a flip, right?
Because listen, your mindset has to be a little different when you're talking about having a rental, a buy and hold for long-term cash flow versus a flip property. The flip property is a property that you're going to buy, fix up really nice, and try to sell at top market dollar for a quick profit, right? Which may be $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 or more, right? Some flips you can make a lot of money doing.
And we're going to do a rental survey and make sure we've got a profitable situation for you. If you are getting financing on that, we're going to make sure there's a positive cash flow on that. The more the merrier. The faster you pay yourself back, and the faster you pay this thing down, because you want to put that money right back into it. And if you've got 2 or 3 of these things, you want to pay one off. So one of the things we're going to do is, once you're in contract and you're starting to do the reno, we're going to pre-lease that thing. We're going to start advertising that on Craigslist and Facebook, on Zillow, and and we're going to be ready to interest potential people, potential renters in that property ahead of time. So you're going to have a long line of people ready to go once you're complete. So you're never going to sit there and have to carry that note, other than that initial time while you're doing the rehab. Exactly. So this is going to be an important facet, and this is what a good agent like us is going to try and do for you.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? That's us. We do this kind of thing.
Yeah. Actually, we are gonna start plugging some business partners here in the not so distant future.
Absolutely.
Like our friends over at Subby's right around the corner who make the best sandwiches in the world.
Yeah, serious little shout out to Subby's. We really, really like supporting our local businesses, right? And this local family, they all went to Clovis High, graduated Clovis High. The son is the official owner, and the dad's helping him out. Subby's is right on Shaw and Minnewawa.
Highly recommend.
The greatest sandwiches in the world, and their beer battered French fries are off the hook. They are. Telling you, gotta go to Subby's. Anyway,
I'm wrong. I don't want to be right.
Exactly. So listen, we have a good plan for you, and we can help you to become a millionaire investor. But we're running out of time. We're going a little long on this show.
We're a little long, but that's okay. This is a good subject, and I hope everyone gets a lot of information from this. If this is something you are into or want to get into, This is a great family strategy. I've seen a lot of people do, but this kind of puts it together. Listen, you're getting a couple, you're paying them down, you're accelerating the pay down on the second property, then you've got a third, then ultimately you've got 3 or 4 of these things paid off in a very short period of time. So you've got a cash flow from all these rentals, right? And then you've got the value, the principal value of these properties, adding to your portfolio and your overall wealth. $1 million in real estate, real easy. So this is a quick path to real estate success as an investor.
And listen, we've only touched the tip of the iceberg with this topic. If you have any more questions or concerns or comments, please let us know what they are. And send us some stuff. Let us know what you think about these topics. What we can do to make it better. We're here for you. We don't do this for our benefit. We're actually really trying to provide good content for you, all of you out there.
The reality is this stuff. Again, we could talk about it for hours and hours, and get really in depth. And we have with many of our investors who have flipped and or haven't held properties. So we're happy to do that with you. We're not gonna hold back. We're gonna show you everything.
Absolutely. So listen, we'd love to sit down with you and educate you more. Work over the math scenarios. Doing the math and understanding it's really important. And we'd love to help you out.
We've got a guest coming on next week, right?
We sure do. Listen, we're super excited about having next week will be Jonathan Bray from Jonathan J. Bray Inspections. He's a really amazing home inspector. And he's going to come in and talk about a lot of the ins and outs of home inspection, what to look for, what you can do maybe as a seller to pre-inspect your home. And he comes out of the construction field. He was a home builder for a really long time, super knowledgeable. And I think we're going to get him to talk about some renovation stuff. So super excited about that.
Yep. It's really important, buyers, to know sometimes these inspections can be daunting. They have a little bit of language that you may not know, and some things that you're going to want to key into and pay close attention to going forward.
We'll educate you along the way.
That's what we're here for.
All right, everybody. Hey, that's it for us. This is the KF Home Sales team and the Realty Life podcast. Signing out.
Oh,